Assalamu alaikum everyone. If you want to understand how modern web applications work behind the scene, then this tutorial might be the most important video you are going to watch today. We are going to build a real production style CRUD application using PostgreSQL, FastAPI and Vue.js. Not just a small example, no copy paste magic, but a full system where frontend and backend actually talk to each other. Now you might be thinking, why should I learn coding if AI can generate code for me in seconds? Good question. Because if you don't understand what the code is doing, you cannot debug it, you cannot customize it, you cannot scale it either. In interviews, real jobs, you must explain your decisions. AI can assist developers, but it cannot replace understanding. In this tutorial, we are going to learn the foundation. Additionally, if I go fast at some point, you can always speed up or slow down playback speed. Try code yourself. Overview of the project. At first, we are going to create a new hero. For example, the name of the hero is going to be Tom Hank. And age will be 60, and forget it, if I made a mistake, I'm not good at writing and speaking at the same time, therefore if I make a mistake, just forgive me. Okay, this is the hero we have created earlier. If you just reload the page, we can see this is the ability to read, which is stand for R, and C stand for create, and U stand for update, and D stand for delete. So let's update one of them. I'm going to update this Tom Hank with letter U at the end, and let's update it. Yeah, it is updated. Let's reload this again, and it is updated successfully. Just delete it, reload the page. All of the operations are working perfectly. For this project, I'll include link of this source code. If you made a mistake, or if you just can't follow me in anything, you can just come here and see the code I have written for you. So first of all, I'm going to create a project. For that, I'll use videos, and inside videos I have a folder web. In here we have tutorial. You can make any folder inside anywhere. So I'm just going to select this one. So okay, let me check. Okay, now we are going to create a folder with name of mkdir. This is the command, and the name is going to be en. In here I'm going to create another folder with name of server, and inside this server I'm going to change directory to server. And one more thing, now we need to create virtual environment. In order to create virtual environment, we are going to follow this FastAPI docs, and in here just click on this learn virtual environment. So in here there is a way to create virtual environment. You can see all those commands they have given for us, but I'm not going to follow their command. I'm going to write by myself. Python m vnv.vnv. This is the name of our virtual environment. You can keep the name anything you want. Now you need to activate it. For Windows user, the process is little bit different, but for Linux user, you need to write this command: source.venv. This is the name of your virtual environment. Bin. Inside virtual environment you have a folder bin, and you have a file activate. Once you are activated to the virtual environment, you can see this at the beginning, okay, or somewhere. This is the command we use to create virtual environment, and for Windows user you need to activate it with this command: source.venv scripts activate. Okay, this is the command for Windows user. For Linux user, I just used this command. Now go to this tutorial user. Okay, in here first of all we need to install FastAPI. Therefore this is the package we need to install. Let me just copy this and paste it in the terminal. Pip install. This is the name of our package, FastAPI. Okay, this is installed successfully. It's saying to install or upgrade pip, so I'm going to upgrade it. Okay, it is upgraded successfully. For this tutorial I'm going to use PyCharm. If you want to use any other IDE, you are feel free to do so. Okay, now let me just close the project. Previous one I have used. This is the folder we have created. Inside it we have this server folder and trust this project. Okay, this is our folder and it automatically created this main.py. So you create it by yourself. I'm going to change the font size so it will look better. Let me make it 18. Apply and okay. Once again I'm going to change the font size for the code, so let's do it. So go to editor, font. Here instead of 12, let's make it 18. Okay, this look good and make it okay. Yeah, this look good. The size is good. Let me print something. Hello. Okay, invalid interpreter. So I'm going to set the interpreter setting again. Go to setting and in here you have option for interpreter. Let me go to this project, Python interpreter. In here we have invalid interpreter, which is correct. We are going to select the existing one since we have created that .env environment variable using pip. So I'm going to use that. Inside this en tutorial code we are going to select this .vnv. Inside .vnv we have this bin folder. Inside bin we have this Python. So we are going to select this one, and once we select it, this warning will disappear. Now I'm going to create another new file. The name of the file will be requirements.txt. Here I'm going to list all of the packages we are going to install throughout this project. The first one is going to be this one, which we have installed earlier, FastAPI standard. Okay, so let me just copy and paste it in here. Okay, now let's run our Python file, Python main.py. Okay, it is saying hello, but we don't want hello. Instead we are going to create a simple server. For this, go to this tutorial user guide. Here we have the first step. So let's copy this code. This is the server. Okay, let me just copy and paste it. One more thing I want to mention, how we are going to list all of them and we are going to install all of them at once. So let me just do it. Pip install r. Using this command, all the packages are listed in this requirements.txt will be installed automatically. So we don't need to manually put on by on package name and install it. Instead we are going to install all of them again. For example, someone is going to copy my code. They are going to just create their own virtual environment and going to install all the packages I have listed in requirements.txt. So this is our simple server. We are going to run it by using this command, FastAPI and dev main.py. Yeah, just press enter. This is the this is the URL and it is working perfectly. You see the message is hello world. If you go to this docs, you can see the documentation for our API. This is only endpoint we have, which is /root. We are going to create a few more endpoints to work with create, read and update and delete. Okay, so server is running successfully. Now we need to connect to the database. We are going to use PostgreSQL for this project. If you didn't install it, just search for Postgres, and on Windows it is very easy to install Postgres, or on Linux you need to find little bit what is the correct command for installing PostgreSQL. And here if you search for database, this is the SQL database we are going to use, and here we are going to use SQL model. This is the SQL model we are going to use throughout this project. Here if you read this document, you can learn more about this SQL model, but I'm not going to read it. Instead I'm going to explain it to you. First of all, we need to install the package for using SQL model, which is pip install SQL model. Okay, now it is installed successfully. Let me just copy this and paste it inside our requirements.txt. So this is another package we are going to list here with exact same version. They don't get any errors. Okay, since I have installed PostgreSQL successfully, I can access to PostgreSQL shell. If you have access to the admin panel of PostgreSQL, I guess it is pgadmin, you can just create database there and connect to it. But I'm going to use shell to create a database. So let's write the command psql. The user is going to be Postgres. Okay, the password I have set it test1234 and it is logged in successfully. Now we can list all the database by using this command /l. Okay, I guess it is not. Yeah, we can list all the database by using /l. What we have this database HeroDB, and again we have Postgres template 0. Now we are going to create a new database. The name of the database, I'm going to make it create database. This is the name of our database, HeroDB. Okay, let me enter this. This is created successfully, so this is the name of our database. Let me just copy this and paste it inside a file so we won't forget. I'm going to create a new file with name of database, and here this is the name of our database. For now I'm just pasting here. Okay, since database has been created successfully, now we need to grant some permission to a specific user for this database. Okay, otherwise you can use the root user. Okay, now if you haven't created any user, this is the command to create a user. Create user, the name of the user name, let's make it my username to make it more specific. You can name it anything you want, and with password, the password is going to be test. You can keep any password you want, but just keep it simple so you can remember it. And I'm going to change the name, actually Sion. The role Sion already exists. That means we already created that user. I can't create another user with same name, so therefore I'm just skipping this process. You can create your own user, and we're going to grant all permission, all privileges, on database en hero db to basically by using this command we are granting all of our permission of the database to this user, so this user can do anything he wants. And also just write this command, grant all on schema public to and name of the user. Now let's connect to the database. To connect to the database, just write /c name of the database, which is this one, en hero db. We are now connected to the database, so we can just write a few more commands in here. Grant usage on schema public. Okay, we also want this permission. Another, we are going to use create. We are going to have this create permission. Okay, that's it for now. Let's get rid of this shell. Just press / and q. Okay, in here in database file we are going to import a few more things. First one is from SQL model, import SQL model and create engine and session. Afterward we are going to create .env. Actually we haven't installed this .env, so I'm going to install it. Pip install python .env. We need this package in order to use .env file in our environment variable in our project. So it is already satisfied, so we can import it. .env import load env. We need to load the env at the very beginning of a code, and here we are going to load all of our environment variables. For example, we can just create like this .env database _url. The database URL we can just write here and import it in here. Okay, so in order to import we need another package, import OS. We need this module. Okay, so let's do it. First of all, let's create a variable database _url. This database URL we are going to get from that .env file. os.getEnv, the name of the variable is going to be this one, database URL. So our database URL is going to be like this: PostgreSQL :/sion, test 1 2 3 4. This is the username. We have created that user, and this is the password for that user @ localhost and /, and don't forget to specify the port number 5432. This is the port number where PostgreSQL runs, and we need to specify the database name, which is this one, en hero db. Now we can use this database URL, we can get this value. Okay, now in the next line we are going to create an engine. Create engine we have imported previously. First parameter for create engine is going to be database URL. Second parameter will be echo is going to be true. Okay, the next thing we are going to do is create a function, create db. Using this function we are going to create all the tables automatically according to our schema. So SQL model dot metadata dot create all engine. Next we are going to create a function for getting session, and in here with session engine as session yield session. Okay, this looks good to me. Now we are going to import this database to this main file. Okay, inside this main file we are going to do like this: async context manager and async div lifespan. This is going to be a function. I'll tell you what we are going to do with it. App, and this is type of FastAPI, and we are going to just take it this app below here, this below this span. Okay, so let me just take it here and paste it here. No, we don't want any indentation. Instead we are going to write some code in here. We are going to load something at the starting of our application. Load on startup. Okay, so we are going to create tables from database, import, create db and tables. So this is where we are going to create all of our tables. After all, we are going to yield. When we are going to end the application, then it is going to print something. Okay, so before this yield, this is the beginning of our application. At the beginning we are going to create all the tables. At the end we are going to print something. Okay, and in this FastAPI we are going to specify this parameter lifespan, which is going to be this one. Okay, so this is very simple for you as well. Now let's see, does it work or not. One more thing, if you just click on this run, it is going to run this main file by default. So let's try this debug option, and it should debug actually. If yeah, this is the error we are getting. We need this package, okay, in order to use PostgreSQL with Python. So I'm going to install this package, pip install. This is kind of like driver for PostgreSQL binary. We are going to use the binary version of this package. So this is the package we have installed. Let me just copy and paste it here. Paste it in the requirements file, so later we can install it easily. So again, let me run this debug. Let me debug the code. It should run successfully. It is running successfully, connected to PyDev. Yeah, it is running successfully. Let me run the server actually by using this FastAPI main.py. Okay, it should run successfully. It is running successfully. You see all the table is been created. Okay, this is raw SQL, select schema. All those things are doing actually creating tables for us, and it is still running successfully. You can see everything is working as expected. Now we are going to create a few more files. First one is for schemas, and the second one is for routers. In here I'm going to create a new directory with name of routers. Inside this router we are going to have a file called hero. All the routers of our hero is going to be in here. Okay, this is our root router. We can make all the routes in here. For example, route for creating a hero, updating a hero, or deleting a hero, we can make all of them in here. But to make clean architecture, we are going to delete it and use FastAPI router. Okay, so let's use it. In here, from FastAPI API router, create a router. Here I am going to create a post request to create a hero. So let's create it at the rate router.post, and here we need to put the prefix, which is going to be /, and the next one is going to be response model. Here the schemas comes in. When we are going to get data in our body of the request, at that time we are going to need this response model. So I am going to create that schema. Name of the schema is going to be hero, create hero, and this will be subclass of SQL model. Now we need to define all the properties or all the attributes we'll have in our hero. So first one is name. This is type of string. The second one is age. Let's make it optional, and this optional is going to be imported from typing, and this age is going to be optional integer, and default value will be none. This is default value. If you don't want to put any default value, just get rid of it. If you don't want to make it optional, then you just need to get rid of this optional. Okay, so this is how it works. And the last attribute is going to be secret name. Here I have created schema create hero, and now I am going to import that schema in here. So let's make it. From schemas import create hero. Here this create hero is going to be our response model, and this is going to be a function create hero. Actually we already have name hero in our file name, so we don't need to put hero in here to make it more logical. And here we need some parameter. The first one is going to be hero. This is also we are going to import from schema. This is going to be our create hero. Okay, the next one is going to be session. Now we need to create a variable. This is actually type, so we need to create this type. Since we didn't create it, so let's create this, and in here let's make it session def is equal annotated, and make sure you import this annotated from typing, not from SQL. Okay, SQL annotation. So I'm going to select it typing, and annotated in here you need to put session comma depends, and this depends is going to be imported from FastAPI. Get session, make sure you import this get session as well from database. We have created this get session earlier in this tutorial series, and we are not going to call this function. Actually we are going to just pass the reference of the function, so let's get rid of it as well. Here still getting errors. It will be third bracket, not the first bracket, and this session we need to import this session again, and this session we are going to import from SQL model. And here we need to do something in the function. For now I'm going to just pass. Now we need to create a model. Model is the type of schema that we are going to save in our database. Okay, so here we are going to define. Actually let me show you in browser. Once you go to this learn FastAPI learn tutorial, in here you can find these SQL relational databases. Here you can see all the details about the project we are about to make. This is the model we are going to create. We are actually going to create a database or database table for this hero. So this hero will have ID. Let me copy this. Actually let me make everything in comment. I'll do it by myself just to explain everything. Class hero, the class is going to be hero, and we need to extend SQL model, and this is going to be a table. Table is true, and in this class we'll have ID. Every hero will have an unique ID. This is type of integer, either it is integer or none, and we need to use this field from SQL model, and it will have a default value of none, but I can make sure none of the hero will be ID of none. Actually this is where the primary key comes in. When you set primary key true, then it will increment by 1 automatically. For example, when I'm going to create the first hero in the database, by default it will set 1 as an ID for that hero. After creating the first hero, we are going to create the second hero. It will assign 2 as an ID for the hero automatically. After all, we need to create name. This name is not a unique field, so let's make it string and field, and let's set index true. Age, for age we need to set age integer. This is a type of integer or none. This is actually optional field. You can set none or integer, but default value will be set to none. index is going to be true. Now the last one is secret name. This is string. Let me get rid of this. We don't want any reference now. Okay, here I am going to create a new file with name of CRUD. All of our business logic or database operation will be here. In here, the first function I am going to create is create hero. This function will take a few parameters. First one will be session. By using this session, we are going to do all operation with database. This session we are going to import from SQL model and hero create. This is the second parameter we want. And we are going to import this hero create from schemas import create hero. Actually hero, not hero create, it will be create hero. And again here we need to use the model. This model we are going to import from models. Hero dot model validate. We are going to use this function to validate our data from schema to our model. Actually this is converting schema to model. Okay, and here we are going to save this to the database. After saving, we need to commit and we need to refresh at the end. We are going to return the hero. We are going to use this create hero inside this. I am going to import this CRUD. Actually let's import in this way the whole package. I am going to import in this way CRUD dot create hero. The first parameter will be session and the second one is hero. Now I am going to run our FastAPI server by using this command FastAPI dev main.py. Okay, it is running successfully. You can see this is running successfully. We are not using this router hero, so I am going to use it. App.include router. This router I am going to import from routers import hero. Here I have imported hero.router. Now again reload this, or it will actually automatically reload. You see in here the database, the query to create a database, it automatically generated and created the table. Now the location of our website, the location of our API docs is here. http://127.0.0.1:8000:docs /docs. Okay, let's paste it here. This is the URL, and here we are actually we are getting this create. Let me change it little bit. In hero, here let's set a prefix To make it more specific, we need to set this prefix and tags, and tags will be hero. This is actually a list. Let's go to the browser again, and you see this is just saying create. Let me reload it, and this is default. Let me check it is working or not. Yeah, it is getting an error. Prefix start with /. So we need to provide that /. Here it is. Let me reload it one more time. Here you can see the default has been changed to the name of the tag, which we set here hero. Okay, and this is the post request we have created. The URL of the post request, let me create a hero. Age will be, let's make it 57. Secret name is Tom. Execute. Yeah, it is running successfully. You see this is the URL. This is the API URL to create the hero, and this is the body of our request, and these two are headers, and the server response is this. We are getting 200 response, which is okay. Let me go through everything one more time. We have created this main file. In main file we have created this. Actually we included the router, and the router we have created here. In the router we have only on post request, which forwarded to this prefix / heroes, and it has tag. And in this function we are getting all the data body. These are body data in JSON format. We are getting with help of this schema. This is the schema, and we are passing this schema and session to another function to do all the operation to make this function clean. Okay, so all those operations are doing here inside this CRUD folder. Inside this CRUD file we have this session as parameter and hero create as another parameter, and this is hero. We are actually converting our schema to the model so we can save it to the database, and this is how we are saving session.add and committing and refreshing. After doing all those database operation, we are returning the hero which we have saved earlier, and this return value we are returning from this function, and it is responding as this response model. We are going to change this response model so we can get the ID as well. From CRUD we have created this create. Now we need to create read, update and delete. Okay, this is how we are creating heroes. Now we are going to read all the heroes we have. So let me just copy this and paste it below here, and this is going to be a post request. This is going to be a get request. To get anything from the database you must use this get request, or to do some operation like create or update you can use post or put. Okay, and this is our get request. We are going to change the name of our function. That is going to be, we are going to read all the data from the database. Therefore I'm just creating it as read all, and the first parameter will be session depth session, and the second one will be offset. And let me change it. This is going to be another schema. The schema we have made, this is not returning ID, but for response we are going to use read hero. Okay, now here I'm going to put ID. This is going to be an integer field. So let me just change it to, let me just change this create hero. This is the response model. What we'll get in the response, in here we must get a hero with ID, and same for this one. Let's make it read hero, and the read all, this is going to be a offset. This is type of integer, and the default value of offset will be 0, and the second parameter will be limit. This is from annotated, typing annotated, and the first thing we should put integer. This query we are going to import from, let me just copy this and paste it here. After query, in query we'll put le is equal 100, so the value of limit must be 100, less than 100. Okay, put 100 by default. So let me explain it on more time. What is this offset is? For example, we have 50 heroes, we set 10 as offset, then it will take all the heroes from 11 to 50. Okay, and the limit, this is, for example, we have millions of heroes, the query will be very slow, therefore we are setting a limit, so it will give us only 100 of heroes. Here inside CRUD, let me just click here, let me copy and paste the function below. We are going to change the name of the function. This is going to be get heroes. The first parameter we are going to take is session. The second one will be offset. This is an integer field, and by default it will have 0 value, and the limit also is an integer field. Let me just get rid of all of them. Here we are going to write session dot get, sorry, this is not going to be a get, this is going to be exec. We are going to run a query in here, and let's use this all. Inside this exec we are going to run a query to set offset and limit. Okay, so just write like this, select. This select will get from SQL models. Let me just import it. Select, we are going to select with offset. Select, we are going to select hero, and then we're going to set offset. This is going to be offset, and this is going to be limit, and here we are going to set our limit, which is this one. Now we need to call this function. Instead of create heroes, we are going to call get heroes. The first parameter will put session, the second one will be offset, and the very last parameter will be limit. Okay, now we are going to see the terminal. This is our inbuilt terminal. Using PyCharm we can do like this. If you just click on this button, it will open a terminal for you, and you run the command FastAPI dev main.py, and once you see the terminal like this, that means it is working perfectly. Let me go to the browser and reload it. We're getting a route to get all the heroes. Let me just try it out, and here it is saying internet server error. Let me just fix it. What is wrong with it? Let me just make it bigger. Okay, the problem is with this response model. You see here response validation error. on validation error. It is responding with a list, but we are setting it as a dictionary. But we need to do like this: list and list. Now let's check in the terminal. Yeah, everything is working. Let's try one more time. Let me just reload the page one more time, try it out, execute, and we're getting this hero. We have only one hero. Let me make another one. Let's make it Chris Hemsworth. Secret name will be Chris and age will be, for example, 45. Let's execute it. Yeah, it is working. You get the 200 response. Let me just close it and run this again. We should get 2 heroes. Yeah, we have 2 heroes. Here with this route we are getting all the heroes at once, but for example, if we need a route that is going to give us only one hero with details, for example, if I put the ID on, the response I should get is only this hero. So we need to create a route for that as well. Okay, so let me just copy this and paste it below here. It will be read, not read all. And here we are going to set a dynamic path parameter. This is our path parameter. We are setting everything in a root, and this is our prefix. So everything start with heroes. Let me show you. Here is our URL, and the URL have this / heroes. Afterward we have offset 0 and limit 100. Okay, so here we need to set a path with dynamic hero ID. So every hero will have a dynamic ID that is very unique. So we need to get that ID. According to that ID we are going to respond one single hero. So we are not going to respond with the list. We are going to respond with only one heroes. Therefore I'm just getting rid of this list, and for this we don't need this offset or limit. Just let me get rid of this limit, and in offset, in place of offset, we are going to set it hero ID. This is type of integer, and this is a path parameter, not a parameter or body. So above here everything, this is actually query parameter, and in here this is actually body parameter. So we are getting everything in request body to create a hero, and here to get all the heroes we are actually getting a query parameters. In what is query parameter, let me show you. Actually this is query parameter. You make a question mark and then you set the key and equal to value, everything inside the URL of our route. Okay, so we don't need this query parameter or the body parameter. Instead we are going to need a hero ID as our path parameter. This is unique, as I said, and here instead of get heroes we are going to set it get only one hero. Okay, so let me just get rid of this plural thing, and instead of offset I'm just going to make it hero ID. Hero ID, this is type of integer, and we don't need all of them. Instead we are going to use a simple method, that is get, and this is hero ID. This is very simple as well. Sorry, actually it is saying mapper. We need to set a mapper in here, which is this one. So let me just select this table and then the ID. Now here we are going to call get hero instead of heroes session and hero ID. we are not going to return it from here. Instead, we are going to see the hero does exist or not. For example, I pass a value to the hero ID, for example 1000. There is no hero with that ID, so we are going to set a error for that. Okay, so let me just do it like this. Hero is equal this, and then a if condition, if not hero, if hero not found, then it will rise an exception, HTTP exception. We are going to get this HTTP exception from FastAPI, HTTP exception. And one more thing we need to import, that is status. Let's accept HTTP exception status code. The status code will be status HTTP 404 not found. Set a detail. There is no hero with this ID. Okay, now here we are going to raise the error, and it will not execute any code below here. If there is no hero, then this will rise. Otherwise, if there is a hero, then it will return. Just return hero. Okay, so let's check the terminal if everything working as expected or not. Let me just reload the page, reload the docs. Then again, let me try this read all, execute. We have two heroes, one with ID 1 and another one is with ID 2. So let me get all of them. For example, first hero will get with ID 1. Here is Tom Cruise. We are getting it successfully. Let's change it to ID 2. We'll get Chris Hemsworth. Here is the exception we should get. We are setting hero ID 3. For this ID, there is no hero we have created, so therefore we are getting there is no hero with this ID, which is totally okay. Now we have created create and read. Now we need to create update and delete. Okay, for that we are going to create two more routes. One is, let me just copy this and paste it below here for update. This method will be put. Okay, and the path parameter will be this /, and this is the dynamic hero ID. Okay, and the response model will be read hero. This is same. And then the read, instead of read, it will be update. And then session hero ID. And one more thing we need to get, that is update hero. Okay, let's get it, hero underscore update. And for hero update, just like this create hero, we need to create another schema. Let me just copy this and paste it below here. Hero update hero, and in here ID we must not change it, since it is an unique field. Every hero has an unique ID, so we must not change it, and rest of them will be optional. Let me just set it optional, and do the same for secret name as well. We are not going to set any default value. Okay, so here in here we need to just import update hero. We have imported it, and now we are going to use it here. Update hero, control click here. We are going to create another function update hero. In update hero we'll get session hero id and update hero as parameter, hero underscore update, and this is going to be type of update hero, which we are going to import in here at the top. Okay, we are actually we need to get the hero first and check if the hero exists or not. If not hero, then we are going to return none, and if hero exists, then we are going to do like this: update only provided fields. Okay, hero data, let's make it hero update a dictionary, and for example, in schema by default all key will be set and pass all the values. Okay, but some of them will set as undefined, therefore we are going to set only those data who has the value. Okay, so for that just do like this: key in hero data dot items. In here we are going to set the attribute, set attributes. The object is hero data, and key is key and value is val. Okay, this is how we are successfully setting attribute to our dictionary. This is our dictionary, and it will get only those value, those key or those item who has the value. Let me just copy these 3 lines and paste it below here, and in here add commit refresh, then we are going to return the hero. Okay, this is how we are going to update successfully. And in here, instead of get hero, just make it update hero session hero id, then another parameter will be hero update, and here updated check if it is updated successfully or not. There is no hero with let me change the message: can not update, and the return value will be updated. So let's change something in the browser. In this docs page, just reload it. This is a put method and route is hero / the hero id. So we are going to set the hero id on, which was Tom Cruise, and we're going to change the name, actually age of Tom Cruise. For example, let's set the age for Tom Cruise is 55. So execute it. Yeah, it's saying secret name and name is missing, so maybe we should put like this: in schemas we should set all the values by default none. Okay, so let's set them as none. Now try one more time, just reload it, and we're going to change the age of Tom Cruise. This is going to be 57 this time. and we don't need this name and secret name things. Just get rid of them and update, execute. Yeah, internal server error one more time. What is wrong? Let's see. Dict has no attribute age. Okay, here is the problem. I set this hero data. This will be actually hero, not hero data. Let's see the terminal one more time. Yeah, it is running successfully. Let's try one more time on the browser. Just reload it and try one more time. Try it now. The ID will be on and the age will be 58. Let's make it 58. So this is going to be 58 of age. So yeah, it is running successfully. We're getting the response. We're getting the success response back. ID, name and the age, which is perfect. Let me just get all of the heroes in here. Yeah, we're getting all of the heroes. Tom Cruise has age of 58 and this is updating successfully. Now we are left with only one operation, that is delete. Okay, so we need to do that. Let me just copy this route and paste it below here. The method for the delete route is going to be delete, not put. Okay, and the path parameter will be same. Response model will be, actually there will be no response model for delete. For example, if you delete a record, you shouldn't respond with a hero or something. Okay, so let me just get rid of this response model and this is going to be delete method, and the session will be the first parameter. Second parameter will be hero ID. We don't need this hero update things. Let me just get rid of it, and this is going to be deleted. And if not deleted, it will rise an exception, cannot delete. Okay, and below update we're going to create another method with name of hero, delete hero. Okay, so delete hero. We don't need this update, and it will actually return boolean. This is good practice to type something, okay, for return. So this is going to be a boolean type, and now we are getting hero, that is perfect. Then we are not going to update like this. Instead we are going to do like this: delete hero, delete, then commit, and we don't need to refresh either. We can return true. Okay, let's set it false. Since we set the boolean value, we can set it false, or we can set none if you just don't do any return type. Okay, so let me just call this function delete hero in here. Okay, delete hero, and we don't need to pass this deleted. It will say okay, true. Now let's try it. Before that, let me check the terminal. It is working as expected. Reload the page, delete. We are going to delete ID 1, which is Tom Cruise. Okay, we are getting okay, true. So let's get all the hero one more time. See, we don't have any Tom Cruise record in our heroes. Okay, so it is deleting successfully. That's all about creating CRUD API. Next we are going to create Frontend for this. If you like this video, please like, comment and subscribe. it will motivate me a lot and I can create more videos like that. I am doing a lot of hard work preparing those tutorial, explaining everything. And if you have any question, I have LinkedIn and Twitter linked in my video description. If you want to connect me, I'll be happy to help you one by one in person. This is totally free support I'll provide you. You just need to subscribe. We have created our API successfully. Now it is time to create our front end for this API. With this API, we can just make request like this and we'll get the response back. But this is not readable way to show the data. I mean, I'm a developer, you are a developer, you are going to understand, but whoever the user is not going to understand this code. Therefore, we are going to make it very presentable way with little bit of details. For the front end, we are going to use Vue.js. This is a very popular library. If you search for Vue.js, you are going to get this. To continue with us, you don't need to understand Vue.js. You have to know the basics of JavaScript and you are good to go. If you want to learn more, you can just go click on click start. From here you can see the structure, the API, playground, ecosystem, whatever you want to see, all the documents, example, tutorials. You can just take a look at all the section. However, if you don't understand anything, no problem. I'm going to teach you how to use Vue.js as beginner. At the very beginning, in order to create a project, you just need to go to this docs and quick start. You will get this and the command. Before using Vue.js, you must have Node.js version 18.3 or higher. Familiarity with command line. If you don't have familiarity with command line, don't worry, I'm going to show you. You just need to install Node. By default, this npm command comes with Node. So we are going to use that. We are going to use our terminal. If you have PowerShell or command line in Windows, that is totally fine. It is going to work in your system. Just go to the directory where you have created the project. In my case, this is here, and let me make it little bit bigger so you can see it properly. And ls for showing all the directory or files we have in this folder. In Windows, you need to write this command dir. It is going to work on Linux as well. Here I have created the project cden tutorial code. Here I am going to run the command which I have copied. npm create view@latest. I'm going to paste it here and it will ask me for proceed. I'm going to say yes, we are going to proceed, and this is where you need to put the project name. For us it is going to be client. You can name anything you want. We can select the features we want to include in our project. For our project, we are going to select TypeScript and ESLint and Prettier. Okay, so good to go. I don't know actually what this does, so let me just click enter. We need to cd to client folder, cd client, and install all the dependencies we have. Before that, we are going to need a code editor. We can do everything with PyCharm, but we need a text editor that is more of JavaScript friendly. You can use Visual Studio Code. For this tutorial, I'm going to use Cursor AI. You'll get a similar window once you open Cursor AI. You just need to click on this file and open a folder. Select the folder you want to work with. For me, it is en tutorial code, and client is our Vue.js project. So I'm going to open it with Cursor AI, and here I'm going to edit everything. For every Vue.js project, entry point will be source main.ts. In main.ts, what we have actually, we have this app component, which is this one, app.view, and we also mounting this app component to dash app. This is actually id of HTML at id attribute. Let me show you. This is the id attribute. Inside this div we are going to write all of our Vue.js code. You can just think like this. In app.view we don't actually need all of them. In assets we don't need any CSS by default. Same goes for main. We don't need all those. Just let's keep this app. Actually let's keep this a. We don't need this app. Let me save it. And in app.view, this is a Vue.js component. In here there will be 3 elements. One is template, that is for writing all of kind of like HTML code. Another one is for script. Okay, in app component, let's create a script tag. Script. Actually I'm not getting any suggestion from my text editor, therefore I'm just writing like this. Script. This is the beginning and ending tag of script. In here a few attribute will be. First one is setup. By using this setup we are making sure we are going to use Vue.js composition API, which is the latest one. Let me show you. In Vue.js there are 2 types of API. One is options and one is composition. You see the code syntax will be different for both of them. Here is hello world program, kind of like a simple program. Let me just change it to option. You can see a lot of code changes. So we are going to learn composition API in this tutorial. So by using this, actually we are just calling this setup in script, so it will be totally global. We are going to use another attribute which is lang. This is going to be TS, stands for TypeScript. Since we are not getting any suggestion, let's look for a Vue.js extension. If you search for Vue, okay, here is official Vue.js extension. This is for syntax highlight for Vue.js, so we are going to use it. I said there are 3 main tag in a Vue.js component. So first one we have written is script, second one is going to be template, and the third one is a style. So this is for writing all of our CSS code. I'm going to make it scoped. If you use this scope, then this style is going to apply only for this component and all the child component of this component. Now inside template element there will be only one child element. In our case it is going to be a div. So we are going to take a few class, p6 for padding and mx with maximum width for Excel. All those class are going to come from Tailwind CSS. I'm going to show you auto. Okay, this is the div we have taken. Now in here I'm going to take another element, header. In header we'll have a few class. First one is flex, justify. It will take all the component in between 2 sides, items, center. It will make everything center vertically, then margin bottom 6. Okay, this is our header. In header we have a h1 heading on with text 3xl. This 3xl is kind of a size of the text. Width of the font will be bold. Color of the text is going to be indigo. Let me paste the text I have copied here. Okay, since we are using only this app component, all the other components are useless, therefore we can just delete them. Inside components we don't need any of them. We don't need those icon either. Let me delete those as well, and let's run the project. To run the project, you need to run the command npm run dev, and additionally make sure you are in the folder which you have created. Before running the project, we need to install all the dependency. You can see there are no node modules folder in here. In the node module folder, you can get all the dependency which you have installed. We listed all those dependency but never installed. In order to install those dependency, you just need to run this command npm install. After installing all those dependency, you will get a folder node modules in here, and you need to run this npm run dev. Let me just copy this command. You can see the suggestion of here. You need to cd to the directory you have created as a project. Then you need to run this command npm install. We are skipping this npm run format, we don't need this. We have installed all the packages successfully. Let me run the command for running the project. Yeah, it is running successfully. Let me just copy the URL and paste it in the browser. Let's see how does it look. Yeah, heroes CRUD. Now we are going to show all those heroes we are getting as a response. Let me just copy the call request. If you just paste it in the terminal, there is a error, base.css is empty. Yeah, actually we haven't installed tailwind css. Let me just add it, tailwind css. You can search for install tailwind css in Vue.js. You can search for this and you can get this page. From here you can follow the installation guide. In order to install, you need to copy this and paste it in the terminal. Here, let me paste it. It will install tailwind css. After installing, you need to add this in your byte.config.ts. We also have byte.config.tss. While we have created the project, this file were created automatically. So I'm going to import this. Import from @tailwind css byte. Okay, it is not done it. You need to import this tailwind css in any of your css file where you want to implement css styling. So I'm going to import it in my base.css, so it won't be empty and we won't get any error like that. And once again, run npm run dev. It won't show any error. Let me just reload it. You can see the change. The text color has been changed. Now we are going to use that call command. Let me copy this and paste it in the terminal. We are going to get the response with all the heroes we have. So now we are going to fetch them. Let me just comment it here. This is kind of like reference how we are going to fetch the data. This is going to be a GET request and we have to put this URL, and this is our header. Yeah, one more thing I want to say, that curl is not going to work in Windows. You can use Postman as an alternative. Here I am going to create a function const fetch heroes. Name of the function is going to be fetch heroes. This is going to be an arrow function, and this is also a async function. In order to fetch, I am going to import reference, import from Vue. Okay, let me show you what this ref does. Let's go to this Vue.js website, ref. This is, if you search for ref under composition API, you can get this reactivity API core. Using this ref, we are going to get reactivity in our variable. If you want to learn more about reactivity, you can just click on this reactivity fundamentals. In composition API, the recommended way to declare reactive state is using the ref function. Okay, this is how we are going to declare a reactive state. Ref takes the argument and returns it wrapped within a reference object with a value property. So we are going to create a reactive state. Name of the reactive state is going to be const loading. Loading is equal ref. Default value for loading is going to be false, and this is type of boolean. So we are going to take everything in try-catch block, try-catch, and moreover we are going to use finally, and inside try-catch we are going to use loading dot value. Before making the request, we are going to set it true, so it will be loading. Then we are going to make the request, const response await. We are going to use fetch to make the request, fetch, and this is input string or URL. So this is our URL. Let me just copy this and paste it here. Before making the request, we have set the loading as true, and after making the request, we are going to set it false. It won't be loading anymore. Okay, false. Now we are going to check the response is, if there is any error or not. res.ok. If the response is not okay, then we are going to throw a new error. It will say fail to fetch. If it is not failed, then it will execute this line of code. We are going to set another reactive state so we can show all the heroes in the template. So I'm going to take another reference state. This time it is going to be heroes, and reference, this is not going to be boolean, it is going to be empty array. And in here I'm going to create a interface I hero with name of I hero, and here I'm going to use this I hero as an type for this. And in hero, what we have, actually we have ID, this is going to be number, and we have name, this is going to be string, we have age, this is optional, age is also number, type of variable. Then we have secret name, this is also type of string. Okay, now we are going to set these heroes in here. Heroes dot value is equal res dot, let me await here, res dot json, and we'll store all the heroes we'll get from the server into this heroes reactive state. Okay, now we need to call this function. And one more thing I forgot is to handle the error. It is very important to It is very important for a project to handle the errors. So we are going to take another state. This is going to be error, and this is type of string. By default it will be empty string. Since we are catching error in here, try catch block, I'm going to set the error here. Okay, error dot value, this time it is going to be, actually let's rename it to er, and type will be any, er dot message. Now we need to call this function. We can call this function in here, but there is a problem. Every time a state change, it will going to be re-render, and it is going to fetch again and again. The system is going to be very slow, but we don't want this. When the component mount, we want to fetch the data once for all. Okay, so let me use a function from Vue.js on mounted. This is the function. By using this, we are going to call this function only on time. Okay, it will be like this. Save it and go to the browser, reload the page, right click, inspect. I have installed a extension, let me show you. Go to extension, manage extension. This is the extension, Vue.js DevTools. By using this, I can see these components. Okay, you can search for components. We have only one component, that is app. Inside app we have this reactive state, loading, error, heroes. You see the array is 0 and we have 2 errors. Let me click on this. If you just click on console, it is saying access to fetch this from origin has been blocked by course policy. To fix course error, you need to change little bit code in the backend. Once again, go to FastAPI website, search for course. There you can see how they have handled the course. This is the way to handle course. Okay, let me copy all those and go to PyCharm, and in here let me paste them. Course middleware, we need to import them from FastAPI dot middleware dot course import course middleware, and those are the origin are allowed to make request to our backend, but we want all the origin. If you just want this frontend, then you can just copy this and paste it here, but we don't want that. We want all the origin to make request to our backend. So therefore I'm just going to put this asterisk, and now we are allowed to make request. Let me just reload it. We won't get this error anymore. Once again, go to this Vue.js, and here we have only one item, which is Chris Hemsworth. Secret name is Chris. Let me show you once again all the data we have in our database. Let me make a request from the API docs. Here, read all, try it out, execute. We have only one item, that is Chris Hemsworth. Now here I am going to create a new button bg indigo 700, and another class is text is going to be white, and padding horizontally 4, then padding vertically will be 2, and it will be rounded. and it will have shadow. This is the button for adding new hero. Add hero. Below this I'm going to show all the heroes I have. So here with div we are going to have a few classes. This is going to be grid calls on for a small screen SM. And one more thing, if you just go to Tailwind CSS and then search for all those classes, for example padding, you can see all those classes related to padding. I'm using all those classes: padding top, padding right, padding bottom. Now grid call to, for small screen we'll have true column, and for larger screen LG will have 3 column. Grid calls 3 and gap between the column will be 4. In here we are going to use another div. Inside this div we are going to use v4 directive for looping all the heroes we have using this v4 equal hero in heroes, and every item will have a new key. So for that we are going to use vbind with key is equal what is unique in our hero. Actually we have unique ID of every hero dot ID. Now this is actually just a string, but if you just use vbind, then this hero ID will come from this hero inside the heroes. Now in here I'm going to show all the heroes we have. Hero dot name. Save it and go to the browser, search. We only have Chris Hemsworth. Now one more thing, if you want to learn more about v4 and vbind, just go to Vue.js and search for v4 directive. v4 render the element or template block multiple times based on source data. This is how actually v4 works. This is kind of like loop. Actually this is loop inside the template. Now search for vbind, built-in directive, dynamically bind one or more attributes or a component prop to an expression. Now we are going to create a model. In order to create a new hero, we are going to create a form inside that model. So inside this component we are going to create a new component. The name of the component will be hero model.view. There are 3 elements in a component: template, script and style. For this we don't need any styling, therefore we are just limiting ourselves. In this script, let's set this setup attribute. By this we are declaring that it is a composition API, and for lang we are going to set ts, as we are going to use TypeScript for this video tutorial. Here in the template I am going to create a div with a few classes from Tailwind CSS. Fixed, inset 0. By using fixed, the position of the display will be fixed, and this inset 0 means in every side, top, left, bottom and right side, there will be 0. The BG color will be, background color will be black, opacity will be 30, and inside this div there will be a few more child elements. For that we are going to use flex items center. With items center we are going to center our content vertically, and justify center. With justify center we are going to center all the content at the middle horizontally. Okay, z index will be 50. Make sure view toggle or drop so you can see it properly. Inside this div I'm going to create another div with class of bg background white and rounded xl. Padding will be, you can see how much padding we have given by going to the Tailwind CSS website. Search for Tailwind. Now search for padding. We set padding 6. Padding pixel, it will set 1 pixel. If we set padding 6, then it might set, let me show actually. This much padding they have used. Okay, now the width will be full. Maximum width will be medium screen. Then shadow will be large. LG and space Y4. Inside this div there will be a few input fields for inputting all the details of our heroes. So let's create the first input field. I'll take a few classes for this input. First one is width will be full for this input field. Then padding 2. Then it will have border, 1 pixel border, and it will be rounded little bit. First input field will be name. So I'm going to set placeholder name. Let me copy and paste it below 2 more time, and this time it will be age, and age field is optional field. Optional, so we are just writing ourselves optional in this placeholder, and the type will be number. So we can't put anything else rather than numeric value. And this will be secret name. This is also type of text. Actually, above those input field we should add a heading 2 with a few classes. This is text size of 2 XL. This will be 24 pixel. Font will be bold. Margin bottom 2. The color of text will be indigo 700. And we'll say add hero. It is not done it. Let's create 2 buttons. So I'm going to take a div to make a proper layout. We are going to use flex, justify int, and gap between all those elements will be 3, and we'll add padding at the top 2. There will be 2 buttons. Let's create the first one, button. It will add padding vertically, then bg background gray 300. This will be also rounded, and we'll add a hover effect bg gray 400. I guess the button spelling is wrong. Button, let me copy this button, Ctrl C, and paste it below 2 more time. Actually not 2 more time, I only need 2 buttons. First one will be cancel, and second one will be create. For create button, background color will be bg indigo 700, and text will be white. Save it. We have just created this component, but we never used it. So we need to call this hero model component in here. Hero model. This is the sub component. So let me save it and let's check. Yeah, it is looking good. We don't want this model always. Whenever we click on this add hero, we want this model to be appeared. So therefore we need to set some properties. Here we are going to create another state. Ctrl C, Ctrl V, it will be show model. By default it will be false, and this will be type of boolean. Let me just copy this and paste it here. And in this model we are going to use v if directive v if show model. So if show model is true, then this will be appeared. Okay, so the spelling of indigo was wrong, so let me just copy this and paste it here. I guess here indigo 700. So this is our button. Whenever we click on this button, we need to show this hero model. So let's add v1 directive v1. The event will be click event, v1 click, and we'll create a simple function in here and set show model true. Show model dot value, actually we don't need dot value, just make it true. Let's see, refresh it and add hero. Yeah, it is working perfectly. Now we need to close the model. In order to close the model, we are going to create another function with name close. Okay, so let's create that function in here, and we are going to call that function from this hero model. So let me just create it. We'll take it inside v1 directive v1, and this time it will be close. Actually we are creating a emit, and we are going to do that emit inside hero model. So let me show you how does it work. This is not actually pre-built event, we are just creating this emit. Okay, v1 close, then this is a function show model is false. Now go to hero model. In here there is a script, we have created a script tag, and in here let's define emits which we have created earlier. Emits, define emits, we need to use this function. Inside this function declare an array with the value close. We have created this close emit event. This is the event we want. Okay, this is the function we are emitting, and in here whenever we press on this cancel button, it will be can, it will be cancelled. Okay, so v1, this is a directive, and shorthand for this v1 you can just write v @ in the place of v1. Okay, so I'm just going with v1, both of them are same, v1. Then you need to do like this emits which we have created here, emits, and inside this emit we need to define that event which is close v1, and here we need to pass click is equal this. Okay, let's try. In the browser just reload it and add hero, cancel. Yeah, it is working perfectly. Add hero, cancel. This time we are going to create a hero. We are going to make a request to our backend and create a hero in real. Okay, so let's do it. Const age is reference. This time we are going to import this reference. Import ref. I guess you know what this ref does. It actually make the state a reactive. Okay, view, and in here age, this is going to be a number field, number, and actually it is not number, all of them will be string, and by default the value will be empty string. Let me copy and paste two more times. This one is name, and the last one is secret name, and we are going to bind it with our input field with v model. Let me show you how does it work. Just pass like this. This is not actually age, it will be name, then age. Let me copy this and paste it below here inside this input field, and here it will be age and secret name. It has been binded with our this reactive state. Let me just show you. Save it and go to the browser, inspect element, and the Vue.js DevTools extension we have installed. Add hero. Here you see there is a component hero model, and we have these references: age, name, secret name. Let me change the name, Sion. Yeah, it is been changed. Now change the age, 1 2. Secret name is, yeah, everything is changing. This is what the V model does. Now we are going to create a function const save. This is the function to save or create request to the backend. In here we are going to create a payload. Inside payload there will be name. The name will come from name reference dot value, comma, then age and secret name, AGE and secret name. Secret name we are giving underscore because in the request body require this secret underscore name, but we have defined this. It is actually camel case, it called camel case. Now we are going to create a response. Let response, I'm not going to define any value, just let it be. Then response is equal await. Actually this is going to be a async function. Async await fetch the URL. We already used the URL. We are going to use the same URL, but not this time this query parameters. We just need this URL. Okay, then we are going to set a few configuration. In here we need to define method. By default it will be get method, but since we are adding something to the database, it should be a post request. Okay, post. And headers will be content type application JSON. This will make sure we get JSON response back. Then the last parameter will be body. With body we are going to send JSON stringify version payload. Yeah, let me take all those request logic inside try catch block. So if there is an error we can easily find out. Log error. Okay, then let me just copy this, let me just cut it and paste it inside try block, and in here I'm going to check if everything is okay or not. Response dot okay. If response is not okay, then we are going to throw an error, throw new error, fail to save. Afterward we are going to extract the result. Result is equal await response.json. Okay, I'm going to console log that result, log result. we haven't used this save function. Whenever we create, we click on this create button, v1 click, then we are going to call this save function. Okay, save it. Let's try. Reload the page. Click on this console, add hero. Name of the hero will be Ranbir Kapoor. Secret name, let's say Ranbir. Age 40. Create. It is created successfully, therefore we are seeing these logs. Let me just reload it. Chris Hemsworth and Ranbir Kapoor. All the heroes are fetched perfectly. Okay, now this is our component. Let me just go to hero model. Here we are creating successfully. Now whenever we just click on this create, we need to close the model automatically. Let me just create one more hero. We are creating it. Let me reload it. Yeah, it is creating, but I want to add them when I just click on that create button. Okay, so let's do it. Go to this app.view component. From here, let me just copy the function from here, this save function. Let me just copy this and paste it that function in here. Page, after page, let me just make it actually the name will be handle saved. Handle save, and we don't need all those. Let me just cut them, and this is not going to be a async function, and the parameter for this function will be hero. This is type of iHero. This type is coming from this iHero. Actually, I'm going to create a separate file for that. You can just keep it in here, but I want to create a separate file. Types.ts. This is the file name I'm going to create, and we must export in order to use it in another file. And this is how we are going to import it in here, hero. Let me just autocomplete it. We have a state which is this heroes. We are going to push the new hero to this heroes. So let me just do it like this. Heroes dot values dot push hero. Okay, now after pushing this, make show model false. Show model dot value is equal false. So this function is going to be called from this model. So I'm going to just put it here and equal this, but this is actually going to be a handle save. This is actually going to be a vbind. Actually, this is a function. Instead of vbind, we can just create it v1. v1 means making some image. Let's make it saved. So we are going to get this saved from this hero model as a image. Okay, so just let me just comma and paste it here. Sorry, and saved. The same way we are getting this close, we are going to get this saved. This is the close function, and another v1 we have declared that is saved. Okay, now we need to call this saved in somewhere in this component, and this is where we are going to call that saved function. So just write emit emits, and then the name of the function which is saved, and the parameter which is result. This result we are going to get as a hero, so we are passing hero in here, which will be added to the hero list later on. So let me just show you. Let's create another hero. The name of the hero will be Tom Cruise. Age will be 55 and the secret name is Tom. So let's create it. This is the Tom Cruise. We have get instantly instead of reloading the page. Now the list of heroes are not looking beautiful, therefore I'm going to design little bit for this hero. So if you just want to skip, you can skip the design part. I'm going to create a new component. The name of the component will be HeroCard.view, and here I need template. Okay, so I'm going to get a div with class of p4 padding 4, then rounded large size LG, then I'll have some shadow, then I'll have a little bit of border. So here we go. Now we are going to have a heading h2 heading. Text size will be Excel, then font will be bold, and here we need to pass hero name, hero.name. We are not actually getting any hero. We are going to get hero as our props, so therefore I'm just going to make a script, and it will be language of type script and setup. It will have setup. Okay, now let's define props. Define props inside. Okay, here is the problem. Actually I need to give this second bracket, so it will work, and input, let's make it type. It will work properly. After writing the name, we are going to write secret and age as well. This is going to be a p. Text will be small size sm. P text is small, and text color will be gray 600. Okay, now it will be hero secret. Actually let me just write secret hero dot secret name, hero dot. As I told you before, I'm not good at reading and writing at the same time, therefore if I make any mistake, just forgive me. And if I just made any mistake in my spelling or pronunciation, then just forget it, forgive me. I'm just trying to teach you something. Now below here we'll have two buttons inside a div, and this is going to be a flex box. Gap will be 2 and margin top will be 2 as well. Then the first button will be bg blue, text white, and we have padding x, px3, py1, padding y1, then rounded lg, then we'll have a hover effect, beautiful hover effect, hover bg blue 600. Okay, this is going to be button for edit. Let me just copy this and paste it below. I guess this is going to be 400, bg blue 400, and this one is going to be red since we are deleting, and let me just make it red. Now we are going to use this hero card instead of this. Let me just get rid of it. Hero card. Instead of using this div, I'm going to use hero card directly. And here, let me just fix it with my AI. Let's wait for a few seconds. My AI will provide me the answer. What is the problem here? Okay, here they already solved it for me. Here's the problem. So let me just make it keep. You can just copy the whole line. Okay, I'll add the link of this source code in the description of this video, so if you want, just check out. Yeah, now it's looking beautiful, you see. Now I want to delete it. When I click on this delete button, I want this hero to be deleted. Okay, for that I'm going to define emits. Const emit is equal define emits. All the emits I need is delete, and this delete emit we are going to use in our delete button v1, and here we want click event emit is going to be this delete with a parameter. The parameter will be hero.id. okay, now we need to define this delete button in our app. Since we have used this emit, so we need to pass that function. Okay, here let me just and is equal handle delete. Let me just copy this and create a new function from this. Below this fetch heroes, I am going to create that function. Sorry for spelling mistake, I always do this. Async, and here I am going to copy everything from here and paste it below here when we delete. Okay, when we are going to delete, now I need to put it inside this tilde key. Okay, with this tilde key we are going to delete. So this is fetch request, but the method will be different. It is not a get, put or post request. This is going to be a method of delete request. Okay, once fail to delete, once it is deleted, I need hero id number. Okay, this hero id need to be pass in here, otherwise it won't work. When we made the API, you know how we made it. Okay, now here I'm going to just do like this. Heroes.value is equal heroes.values.filter, age stand for hero, and age.id. We are going to return all hero except the one we have deleted, hero id. Okay, let's see. Try deleting a hero. I'm going to delete this Ranbir Kapoor. Yeah, it is not deleting actually. Yeah, here is the problem, I guess. We are actually binding the function. Instead of binding, we just need to do like this. V on. We need to specify this is an action by clicking on this delete. This is a click action. Just let me just reload the page, and here from here I'm going to delete Ranbir Kapoor. It is working properly. Let me reload. Yeah, everything is working. Alright, so far we have created create, read and delete operation successfully. Now it's time to move to the next part, that is update operation. So here is what we are going to do. Whenever the user click on this edit button, a pop-up will be shown. But when we are updating a hero, it should say update hero instead of add hero, and all the input field will be filled up with the selected hero. From here we'll be able to make changes and update the data. So let's jump right in and start building this feature. In our hero card we already have this edit button. Now let's go ahead and add an event listener to it. So when someone click on the edit button, it will trigger the function that opens update model. For that I'm going to just copy this line and paste it in here, but this time instead of delete I'm going to say it is edit. Okay, now we need to define this edit image, and this edit image should be passed in here as well. Let me just copy this v1 and paste it below here. Actually, let's paste it instead of delete. Let's say edit. The name of the image we have declared here, we are going to use the same name, and instead of handle delete, let's say edit. Let me just copy this and paste it below here. Instead of delete, let's say edit. We are going to take another reference. Let me just copy this and paste it below here. By default it will be null, so let's make it selected hero, and this one will be type of I hero or null. This will help us keep track of the player that is going to be edited. So whenever someone clicks on that edit button, the specific player data will be stored inside that reference object, that selected hero. Hope you understand. This way you can easily access it later when showing the model or updating the information. Actually we don't need this handle edit. Let me just define the function here. In here we are going to get A stands for hero, and this is the function we need. Now once again we are going to show our model. Show model is equal to true. When we click on this edit button, it will be shown. So selected hero will be Ace. This Ace, we need to pass this Ace from here, hero card. So let me just here we are passing, instead of passing just ID, let me pass the whole hero itself. Now in our hero model we need to pass the selected hero so that all the input fields in the model automatically filled with the hero's information. This way when the model pops up, we can see the existing details and make changes. Hero is equal selected hero, and we need to use v bind for this. So let me just go to hero model. From here we need to define props. Const props is equal define props, and actually let me just keep it empty, and here we need to specify the prop types. It is going to be hero is equal I hero. This is the prop types, and we are going to use these props. Just like this, we are going to use watchers. With composition API, we can use watch function to run a callback whenever a reactive piece of state changes. In our case, we have hero coming as a prop. So whenever we receive a value in the prop, we'll update our references for name, secret name, age, and other fields. This ensures that our model always shows the latest information about hero whenever we open it for editing. So first of all, we need to do like this, just a function, and let me import it from Vue. In here we need to create a callback function, props.hero. After this callback function, we'll have another callback function, age, and this is how we need to call this age function. And the last one we need to give some options. You see the options, watch options. So I'm going to give immediate true. We need to check if there is value in age. If there is a value, then we need to set name dot value is equal age dot name, and copy and paste it below here. And we're going to do same for age, secret name dot value, and here I need secret name. Okay, so I'm going to convert this age to string, so it is all it should work properly now. If there are no value in age, then we are going to declare with default value, which is nothing. So let me just do it like this for age and name as well. So let me just change it. There is a error we are getting from hero model. We need to define like this. It can be null as well, so we need to define like this, so we won't get any error. Every time we use this props hero, we are going to check that if there is a hero or not. In here we are going to make our create request and update request in the same function, same. Instead of creating another function, you can create another function if you want to, but I'm not going to use another function. Instead, I'm just going to use the same one. So I'm here going to check if there is any value in props.hero. If we have value, that means we are updating. If there are no value, then we are actually creating. So if there are no value, then we are creating a new hero. So let me just make it put, since we are going to update. This is a put request, so I'm going to make it put, and the URL is going to be dynamic. We need to specify the ID for hero, props.hero.id. We're going to make this text dynamic as well. Instead of making it create, I'm going to check props.hero. If there is hero, then we are going to say we are going to update the hero, otherwise we'll create a new hero. I'm going to do the same in here as well. Let me take it inside double bracket. Afterward, let's try props.hero. If there is hero, then we're going to say edit hero, otherwise we're going to say add hero. So let me just do it like this. Edit hero, save it. Let me try in the browser, reload it and click on edit, and here we can see all the information about hero. We can update from here and we can see which hero we are editing. So let's change the secret name Tom U and click on this update. We are getting Tom in U, but we are getting a duplicate value. So actually every time we are saving the data, we are adding one more data to the database. In app component, we are using handle save function. This is the function we are using here. What we need to do inside it, check whether we are creating a new hero or updating an existing one. So let me check it here. If selected hero, if there is a selected hero, then we are updating. If it is an update, then we need to make sure update the value of the hero in this ref so that our reactive state stays in sync. Let's go ahead and implement that logic. Const index is equal heroes dot find values, actually value dot find index is dot id is equal selected hero dot id value dot id. If we get the value index is not equal -1, then we are going to update from here. Heroes dot value, then index is equal selected, actually not selected hero, this hero. And here we are going to push if there is no selected hero. Okay, I'm using Ctrl+Shift+I for reformatting the code. Once you have reformatted it, let me just show you. Click on edit. Now let's get rid of this U from secret name, update again, and here it is. We have Tom Cruise without that U in the secret name. And that is a wrap for the tutorial. If you find it helpful, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. It really motivates me to create more content like this. See you in the next video.